Well, hey, good morning. I'm Aaron Bowman, W4ARB. I'm a CW operator. Love operating CW in the field and share it with you here on YouTube. So I appreciate you joining this morning as I'm about to do another Parks on the Air activation at my favorite picnic table in Tuskegee National Forest. Today I'm going to be using my Icom IC705 and the Gabil GRA 7350T. I carried it all today in my Tom Ben backpack, Cambiata or whatever it's called. Love this backpack. I don't think they make it anymore, but you can't go wrong with anything by Tom Ben. And I've been doing something kind of weird the last couple of activations that I didn't record, is I've actually been using a laptop for logging. Using a Fast Log Entry. That's my logging app of choice. I really like Fast Log Entry. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. Fast Log Entry is awesome. And I got a new little laptop. It's a little bitty ThinkPad X13S. I'm super happy with it. I was going to use it for logging this morning, but it's been raining all day yesterday and a little bit this morning. So the trees above me probably have some moisture on them that's going to drip down on the table at some point. And I'm not going to fool with that with a laptop, so we're going to be using paper logs again today, good old trusty, but that'll work out just fine. Probably going to share my laptop logging method here in the next video or two. Once it's not wet outside and I record another video, we'll probably get into that topic. Alright, let's get this stuff set up. So the entire antenna is in this little side pocket. So the antenna itself, I've got one counterpoise wire and the tripod. It's the Gabil tripod too. And I'm going to grab a big old roll of Coax. This is ABR Industries Coax with a red sheath on it. It is ABR 240. So it's actually pretty thick stuff. You probably don't see me use the thick stuff very often. Normally I use ABR 316 or just what comes on the Alex loop. This piece definitely takes up a lot of room in a backpack, but I have room in this backpack and I like this piece of Coax. It's certainly good quality. I love the red. Red's my favorite color, coincidentally. So that adds like, I don't know, 4 or 5 decibels at least. And the Gabil tripod is awesome. Such a cool antenna tripod. It'll hold a lot more than just the Gabil. They have a 3/8 mount for the top of it. This is actually a pretty old one. It's a PL259, but it's got the little droopy antenna connector off the side here. The new ones actually come out of the bottom, which is a much better design. Because this, obviously it's bending. That's going to be a point of failure at some point. But I've been using it now for a couple of years. Hasn't failed yet, so I figure when it fails I'll buy another one probably. Well, that was not a very good way to undo my counterpoise wire. I have officially tangled it. And y'all just sat there and watched me do it. Why'd you let me do that? This is not a very floppy wire. This wire, actually, funny enough, this came with a buddy stick from a while back. This was the counterpoise wire for it. And I cut it. I don't know how long it is. I should measure it. I always say that every time I use this counterpoise, I say I don't know how long this is, and still don't. I haven't measured it, I don't think, since I've cut it, but it works good. I can normally tune 40 meters with it. I think it's either cut for, I think it's cut for 30 meters, but whatever, does the job. So I just got a ring connector on it, a big one. It goes on there. Telescoping part on here. And now we're in business. All right. Before I telescope that up, I'm going to go ahead and run my counterpoise wire out. I'm going to take it over there where there's some underbrush. I'm going to tie it off, keep it a couple feet off the ground at least, because a raised counterpoise always performs better. Laying them on the ground does not perform as well. Now, to keep in mind, when you raise it, it does need to be a quarter wavelength in length. Like I said, I don't know exactly how long this one is. I think it's cut for 30 meters. Normally, when it's raised at its length, whatever it is, I can normally tune 40, 30, and 20. But if I want to tune anything above 20, I've got to roll it up some and make it shorter. But we're going to start either on 40 or 30 this morning. So let me go ahead and run this out. Alright, that's all run out. Telescope this up. One section at a time. Okay. That's the whole thing. Not a huge antenna. Altogether a little under 8 feet or so. I say it's very similar performance and size to a ham stick. It's probably the best comparison I can think of. Where's the end of my Velcro? There it is. Okay, that's coax. I got a lot of extra here. I'll run a little bit of it out. Okay, that'll work pretty good. I'll leave a few coils here, kind of as a pseudo kind of RF choke. Probably won't do too much, but may help a little bit. And let's set up the radio. I've been flipping this little cover here, putting it down, sitting the radio in it. I find that gives a really nice little viewing angle. So if you've got one of these covers, that works pretty good. If you don't, I'll link it in the description. It's an eBay, somebody that sells them on eBay. And you know, if the listing that you click on doesn't work, then just search for IC705 cover Windcamp cage, because it goes with the Windcamp cage, and you should be able to find it. Sometimes I think they relist them under a new listing, but I've always been able to find them. And I think they're printed in the US. It's an individual, I believe, but I don't know who makes them. if you do, let me know. I'd like to reach out, tell them thanks, because it's an awesome little cover. All right, all set up. Already hearing somebody there on 30 meters. So let's decide what band I want to start on this morning. So to do that, I'm going to go to my website. I've got a page on there called Ham Dashboard. And I added recently a table at the top that shows a count of RBN spots by band and then a pair of continents. So like I selected North America, then it'll tell me if I'm in North America, how many spots are there in North America on each band from what other continent. Now that doesn't make much sense probably, so let me just show you. Alright, so here's what this looks like. So on w4arb.com, we've got ham or band dashboard. And when you go to the page, it shows it kind of like this, where you've got a pair of continents. So from EU to EU, Europe to Europe, on 20 meters, there's 247 contacts, or QSOs, not QSOs, I'm sorry, dang it. There's 247 spots on RBN in the last 1,000 spots, which I've got a little thing here that shows what the start and end times of that is. So 1341 to 1342, it's like 2 minutes worth. So if I come over here and hit North America, looks like on 40 meters, there's 20 that are within the US. On 30, there's 14 within the US. On 20, there's 14 to Europe. So what does this do? Well, it just gives me an idea of what bands are actually performing like. Now, within the US is huge. Obviously, the West Coast and the East Coast have different performance at different times. But this just gives me an idea. All I use this for is to say, if there's 0 spots on 30 meters, but a bunch on 40, then I'm probably going to go to 40. If there's, some on 30, some on 40, I'm probably going to choose 30 because I just like 30. If there's a bunch on 20, but very few on 30 or 40, then I'm probably going to go to 20. So it just gives me a good idea of which band I want to start out with. So that's how I use it. Feel free to check it out. Then also down here at the bottom, I show parks on the air spots by what band. And then I've got some propagation charts. So a maximum usable frequency chart, or map. And then, of course, the quintessential band chart down here at the bottom. And looking at this maximum usable frequency chart, it actually looks like, where I'm at. I'm in the 13 megahertz. Looks like the country's in pretty good shape right now. 20 meters would probably perform pretty well. We're going to start on 30, maybe roll up to 20, see how it goes. Alright, before we do anything, let's tune up. So I am going to start on 30. Let's try, let's do 10.108.5. And let's start pulling this antenna up. So I can see my band scale here. Because I do know roughly it's around 7. Hi. I got pretty good already. Back down a little bit. Alright, I'm at 1-to-1 already, so there we go. Very good. Let's turn that off. Set my key speed as my multi-knob here. Set it about 21, 22. We'll start 21. Alright, let's get going. Alright, got everything ready to go. My log is kind of written out, so I've got the park, the date, and the frequency. I've got my spot over here all typed in too, ready to hit spot once I call QRL. It's been a while since I've recorded a video like this where I'm pointing down at the logbook, so hopefully you can read it. and yeah, maybe it'll be helpful. Let me know if you like this camera angle over the bigger view where you can see me. But all right, let's start calling QRL and see if we can make some contacts. Man, not a good start there. Can't send my own call sign. Nothing heard. So I'm going to go ahead and get that calling. Submit this spot. There it is. And we're good to go. Tennessee, I think. KI4 DEF. Some QSB going on. It's kind of starting to rain a little bit. Wasn't supposed to. Okay. Good little run so far. I gotta put some gloves on. Hands are getting cold. Alright, I need this rain to stop. There we go, protected the radio anyway. It's kind of like halfway rain, halfway snow. I think it's right at like 33 degrees out right now. That's 10 right now. So I've already got my 10 to make it a valid activation. Y'all, it is legit like sleeting. I don't know that I'll call that snow. I hope I copied that call right. What was I doing here? There we go. Alright, so I put a star right here. Well, kind of. Not a very pretty star. But it just tells me that I want to go back and double check that call sign. Pretty sure I wrote it down right, but just in case. See my SWR jump up a little bit whenever I take my hand off the key. Push this antenna up a tiny bit. It'll help. about a 1.5 to 1 when I don't have my hand on the key. I go 1.1 to 1, 1.2 to 1 when I do. Now I'm telling you, whenever I left the house this morning, there's a 0% chance of precipitation. I don't know how well you can see this. There's certainly plenty of it. See if you can see it falling on the top of that case there. Certainly not ideal. Oh well. At least it's frozen, so it's keeping it a little bit more dry. That's a positive, right? Man. Certainly glad I didn't try to bring out the laptop this morning. Morning, Spencer. Man, everything's getting wet. This is nuts. Y'all see this? 0% chance. Logbook's getting wet now. I don't think there's much I can do to keep it off of it. So that's one benefit of recording video. Even if my logbook gets completely ruined, I can always go back and write my logbook again. This is getting pretty heavy now. The one thing I hope is that it doesn't warm up and turn into rain. I think it's slowing down. Maybe it's gone. That'll be nice. Let me pull this back now. I think that the sleet, I guess it really was, has stopped now. Several Michigan contacts this morning, 3. Very cool. It does appear that the sleet has stopped, thankfully. Doing pretty well on 30 meters. Dry my phone off here. I was going to see where everybody else is on Parks on the Air today. 40 meters. 10. Alright. Wonder if I'm getting any contacts on 10. Yeah. That's all within the US. That's interesting. Don't see that often. Very cool. We might change bands here in just a minute. B, gotcha. D. I'm gonna rewrite that. NW8D. sorry, my handwriting is so bad. Alright, I think I'm safe to take that off the radio now. LP. All right. I kind of lost you there at the end of the last one. How many contacts we're at right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Hey, that's pretty good. 23 contacts. Been on the air. Well, first contact was at 13:51. It's 14:25 right now. Not bad, under half an hour. Call CQ on this band one more time. If I don't get a response, I'm going to change bands. change maybe to 20. I think there may be a contest. Well, there is one today. I don't know if it's going on yet. Alright, let's come up to 14062.5. I'm going to go ahead and go over to the next page here. Alright, continued, ... and 1414062.5. Okay, let's retune this antenna real quick. All I'm going to do is just reach over and slide down the coil. So I would show it, but it's not very interesting. Just going to pull down on it until the band noise comes up. And when the noise come up, pretty good. Seems like there's somebody kind of close by here. I might just go to .062. I'm going to step on there. There's somebody on 14063. Yep, we're going to go to 062. It sounds free. All right. I think we're in good shape here. Start calling CQ. I'm just going to let RBN respot me on POTA. Which it will. Alright, sleet starting again. Let's cover the top of the radio. Alright, I think I lost you. There is some QSB probably on this band still. QSB being fading. Oops. All right, got you this time. Alright, the sleet is starting back, so I'm probably going to call CQ one or two more times. I'm probably going to call it a morning. Did not expect it to be sleeting or raining or anything today. K3 SLH, I believe he's also in a park right now. That's why I sent good luck. That's a W, by the way. Alright, I'm going to call it. Alright, I'll get you. Why not? And silence. Okay, very good. We'll call it right there then. Let's see, I got, was it 10, oops, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. So 34 contacts. Hey, not too bad at all. In, let's see, 1351 to 1440, so it's about 49 minutes between first and last contacts. About 52, 53 minutes on the air, something like that. I think that's pretty good, especially considering I'm using a pretty small vertical antenna. And man, my hands are really cold. And my gloves have gotten a little bit wet here from all this sleet. The table's wet. My logbook got wet. Hey, you know what? It's fun though. It doesn't bother me. Alright, well, thank you so much for joining this morning. It has been a little bit weird weather, considering it was not supposed to be any precipitation at all today, and then it to be sleeting most of the activation. Certainly was not expected, but still turned out to be fun. I'd rather it be sleeting than raining. At least sleet doesn't make everything soaked instantly. But, oh well. Had a lot of fun anyway. So if you made it in my log today, really appreciate it. And if you didn't, hope to catch you next time. And if you watched this far, thank you so much for joining, following along, and feel free to drop a comment. Be glad to talk to anybody. I really appreciate it again. I'm going to finish packing up here and head back home. Hope you have a great day, great week. I'll say 73 from W4ARB here in Tuskegee National Forest. See you in the next video.